welcome back to Phoenix. I'm Phoenix, and today we are going to be playing Stardew Valley on Apple Arcade for the most part. This one's going to be slightly different because I will be playing Stardew Valley on Apple Arcade on my phone and iPad, and then moving over to my computer. That experience will be on Steam. So, starting off on my phone, it may look like to you easy to see, but it was not. My character was so small. It was really hard to choose what my character looked like. And also there was an insane amount of customization, which I appreciate, but the way they made me go through and find each one was not appreciated. It was pretty difficult and quite overwhelming, to the point where I almost, but I didn't, look up a chart to see what number I wanted so I could just skip straight to the number. So that's all that. That's good. Moving on to gameplay. I liked it. It was fine. I didn't realize that you could press and hold and drag to move around at this point. So once I figured that out, it was so much better. But again, the small screen really did affect the gameplay, and it was both a blessing and a curse in some ways, because you're tapping so much to get rid of all the weeds, the rocks, and logs. It was super nice to be able to quickly get from like one end of the screen to the other. However, for pretty much everything else, it was just very small, and it wasn't very pleasant to look at and read text and all of that. So that was the main difficulty when it comes to using the iPhone. Moving on to iPad. So it was a much better experience in terms of, yes, you can see, yes, it is fun to play. I've got more into it at that point and did have some trouble with standing it up. I do have the Apple keyboard, which I do not recommend because a key on the thing has broken multiple times. And if you do buy one, buy it through Apple and not through third party, because you won't get a warranty. Anyways, so I had trouble getting it to stand up because like it's not comfortable to hold it, as outlined in my Alba video. Go watch it here, upper right hand corner. So with that being said, to prop it up, I ended up doing a really janky ass solution, and it worked. And once it was up and secure, I guess, it was super easy and fun to play. I really liked how simple it was. It's a very slow beginning, and I don't know how slow paced it is overall, but obviously there's just a lot of new player things that I learned, having to learn like where things are, memorize the map, memorize who's who, memorize all that good stuff. So it wasn't the most fun I've ever had, but it's the beginning of the game. I played less than like an hour in total of gameplay. So, you know, I don't expect much from that, but I think I'll definitely enjoy it. Moving on to Mac. So this was actually my worst experience. First off, it's on Steam, and it's not going to be specifically made for my Mac, and that's fine, but I don't know if it comes off, but I hope it does. My screen was full screen. I have a Mac with a notch. We hate the notch, but I also don't really notice it. So genuinely speaking, it's not that noticeable. It's annoying because I do notice it sometimes, but it's like not annoyingly noticeable for me. I kind of just see it as a weird part of the bar. So anyways, with that aside, Stardew Valley is not optimized for Macs with a notch because it tries to use up like the entire screen.
So I just wanted to interject real quick and say that Hungry Asian found a solution to my problem, and it's basically you just use the green full screen button on the window rather than going into the settings for Stardew Valley and using the full screen. I'm just gonna let my rant continue because I think it's funny. See you later, and thank you, Hungry Asian.
But Stardew, I think, was trying to use it or something, but then it didn't show it properly and it cut it off, so my stuff was like cut off weirdly, and that was annoying. And then also when I was picking up all the weeds, logs, rocks, I had to switch tools, which isn't a big deal, but it is a big deal when I came from my iPhone and iPad where it just would switch the tools for me, which was super nice. So mind you, if you're in the comments saying, go ahead and comment it, I don't mind. Thank you for the engagement. But I did look up after if there was like a mod for it, because I know Stardew Valley can be modded, and yes, there is. So I am just commentating on base game, unmodded Stardew Valley on these platforms, and comparing, I know, Steam to Apple Arcade is not quite quite apples to apples, but I did notice the difference, and I definitely would be modding my Stardew Valley in the future, at least with that, because that was tedious. Anyways, back to the screen issue. So that was a huge screen issue. Another screen issue I had was when I connected my controller. I think it was supposed to be like, it would direct you to where to put your cursor, and I think it'll show properly in the video. And like when I was trying to exit out, for example, I was trying to click the exit the game as an exit to desktop, and it wouldn't. It was locking me into either the first option, which is like exit to title screen, or exit to desktop, and it would not press it. But based on the resolution issues and the cutoff of the text and yada yada yada, I think that it was confused where it was supposed to be. And now that I'm thinking about it, I had a huge amount of trouble trying to control the character with a controller on the Mac, and I wonder if that was part of the issue, is that things were not like properly customized or adjusted for this. So that's disappointing. But overall, I will be trying this probably again on my PC, so I don't know if I'll make a video on that, but if I do, maybe keep an eye out for that. I did not like my Mac experience, which is disappointing because I was really hoping to have another Mac compatible game. And yes, it does run. Yes, it is supposed to be able to run on Mac, but it's not the right like size and stuff. I don't know how to explain it, but you can probably see. So overall, I really enjoyed this game in terms of the fact that I've only spent an hour playing it, but I will definitely be spending more time playing it. It does remind me of Wildflowers. So if you like Wildflowers, maybe try Stardew Valley, and if you have Stardew Valley and you like it, maybe try Wildflowers. Wildflowers does have a weird art style. I will admit that I don't really like how the characters look. So with that, goodbye.
Yeah, hey. Cause I can't write, I can't learn my lesson. I can't write, take antidepressants. Illness and welfare robbed my adolescence. My friends